Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy Gerald. It is the 15th of December, 2016. How is everybody doing? You're almost there, y'all. That's right, you're almost there. You're almost at the point of starting the beginning of your weekend. That's right. And I hope that wherever you are sidestepping the negativity by way of grounding your feet, speaking your truth, but most importantly, placing God first in everything you do. Because that in itself, that takes vulnerability. That also requires commitment. And you can't have commitment without focal attention to understand why. Because we're talking about what? We're talking about your time. The greatest, most priceless commodity that you will possess. Oh, yes. You already know that because you feel the deficit when it's not appreciated. Who am I talking to? Let me ask you something. Better yet, let's pump your brake. Let's pump your brake. Why are you so focused on the validation of the people in your environment? Why are you going around stressing yourself out to make sure that the perfect gift with the bows and trimmings and maybe labels is placed when in actuality it matters not? When that, which actually, excuse me, you know I got these soup coolers, right? They trip up. You got to work with me. Got to work with me now. It matters not. It is material. You are the gift. So you ain't got a lot, Craig. Bye, Felicia. Some of y'all getting a little winded these days because everything that you propped up to make up your perceptions, they're not holding up these days, now are they? And what's so surprising is you actually believed it would. But this is not condescending. This is not shade. This is validation that still there's work to be done. There's a side of you left, untapped, unchallenged, unpolished. And that side of you possesses the key. Yeah, the key to the real you. Not the perception of who you are and the false validation of who you know or who you share your bed with or who more or less you are getting a free pass in life. Because the truth of the matter is they're not going to be. They're there only to serve as a distraction. And yes, there are qualities, but you'll come to understand is when you decide to look at you. Yeah, look at you. Look at that person in the mirror, that little boy, little girl. Do you realize how special they are? I'm talking to you. You realize? Now, weigh what you bring to the table. You got to be honest now. What are you bringing to the table? Have you ever stopped to think that if you didn't bring these things to the table, how secure that bond would be? Now, ask yourself this. What are the things I lack? Would that dynamic still have the same weight? And when you decide to ask yourself that, you will come to the same conclusion you've known all your life. See, look, you do understand that on the 26th day of December, there's going to be a whole lot of people pissed off. Some are not even going to make it through the 25th day. And they're going to look at you for reparations. And what's going to happen is that mask that you've come to know would have miraculously fallen off. I ask you, I can't stress this, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for what is to come. Because in a bigger sense, it's part of your legacy. Indirectly, it's part of the process. Who am I talking to? Let me ask you something. When you look at your driver's license and you, matter of fact, look on the driver's license and you see that beautiful face, right? And you see the date of birth. See that? And some of you may have skill sets that says, hey, you have a certain code. Mm-hmm. Now, as you look below your picture and you see, because you know how the DMV, they always say, make sure that everything that the proper information needed, it is there because they want to make sure it's right. So we already know that you've done that. So explain to me, you see your name, you see it? Do you see any errors? Do you? So we both can agree that your last name is not Victor. Your first name is not Martyr. It is Blessed. So the question should be asked, who convinced you to think that? Huh? Who convinced you that your role and placement on this planet or season? Because see, people don't talk about it, but there is such thing as a spiritual season. We know it is a spiritual cycle. One moment you're up, one moment you plateau, and all of a sudden the floor drops from under you. Haven't you noticed when these things occur, or if you are the type that is inclined to be methodical, the more that you put emphasis in trying to be methodical, it hurts even more. What is being shown to you right at that moment is, number one, you may have control of your physical self, but you don't have direction. But to fully understand what is going on with your physical self, you got to have this, you have to have the real you together. Who am I talking to? I mean, think about it. Look around in your environment. Why is it that your friends look like they're having conversations with Father Time and they're aging right before you, but it was all good yesterday? What was going on that's inside them that is depleting them of their essence? Public Enemy had a song called Who Stole the Soul? But it got caught in the matrix, and now it sounds like who or what's in your wallet. It doesn't matter what's in your wallet if you don't know you. We've seen countless examples every day of what not to do. But it keeps on happening. Why? It's because somewhere along the way, you forgot how special you were. Somewhere in the moment, you forgot what love looked like. And the guilty party of that was in the mirror looking right back. So does it surprise you right now? Your mindset is, I ain't got time for it. I ain't got no cut cards. I'm going to shoot straight. But you're not shooting straight for you. When in actuality, you need to be running to you. Because see, society has perverted it so much, they want to convince you that the more detached you are of yourself, the better off you be. But the more detached you are, how can you understand where you're going or where your feet are? Michael Jackson, when he was young, wrote the song and sung, Who's Loving You? I have to ask you that now. Who's loving you these days? I'm talking about the real you. Not the person that you share your time to deflect and distract, to support your denial. Because all that's really going on is to persuade you, and I'm not laughing at you, of what you really needed all along. Come on. How many drinks do you think you got to have to make it all go away? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of having to do a plea bargain just to put that smile on your face? To keep your chin up when you're not feeling sure these days? I'm here to tell you it's because still, as it's always been, and shall always be, you have a path. And until you decide to claim your life, nothing that you are able to lay your hands on or grasp to possess will matter. It doesn't matter if it's a check for $1 million. Don't matter. You realize how many people wish they could just get back to who they really were before the change? You see it all the time under the guise of reality. That ain't reality. That is scripted. They've been so bold and brazen, and they have told you the sole purpose is to sway, to get you to be the consumer, to influence your babies so they can grow up to be just like them. So meanwhile, in the hustle and bustle, you're doing your job, you're sidestepping the BS, but yet you're running out of time. You can't get enough rest. Your mind doesn't stop. And all you want more than ever is peace. You can't have peace. You demand the whole. You deserve the whole thing. You ain't got a lot, Craig. Bye, Felicia. Meanwhile, they're campaigning to convince you that they got it all together. Till you look behind the curtain. Till you add up the things that don't fit. Because see, everybody has a pattern because it's part of the progress. Without the progress, you won't understand your purpose. But shouldn't the purpose end up putting you in a place called peace of mind? You realize if you could go into a store near you, in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, there would be some shoplifting going on. If you get peace of mind, they couldn't keep it. They could deliver it off a dirty truck in an old dirty bag and just put magic marker peace of mind, and it would never hit the shelf. Why? Everybody knows it's priceless. So when you think about the word priceless, where do you see you? When you see the word value, where is it near you? What is your story? Can you tell it? Or are you constantly cranking out the same old highs and lows, convincing anybody that will give you a lending ear? I'm sorry to tell you this, but deep down inside, they like to see you that way. Because they know from a professional standpoint, you're not competition. You're not a threat, nor someone to be taken serious. From a personal sense, you are no different than an inanimate object just to be checked on and blown the dust off because you've allowed yourself to be put in that box. This is why when you see people that are nomadic, they don't know the word ownership, accountability, and anything that remotely will guide them to truth. They get alarmed and pissed off real quick. But here's the guys on that. They ain't pissed off at you. They pissed off at themselves, hoping that you will not discover what was always the case. They know this, but if they knew this and knew what they needed, shouldn't you question why they have not done anything better to change the environment? Because your environment is nothing but a display of who you are, what's found inside you, not what's found inside your wallet. Haven't you noticed that's why people's finances go up and down? But if you're privileged to have access to their life, you also notice it also is a mark of what's going on with them emotionally too. Come on, tell the truth. Shame the devil. But here's the beautiful thing about that. Even in those intervals, those algorithms, there's still room for wisdom. To have wisdom, you gotta see the insight. Therefore, you have to be authentic, to look at the action and call it for what it is. So if it doesn't fit right, why are you trying to force it? One of the greatest mysteries of mankind has always been and all shall and will always be. People want what they don't have. But what they needed the whole time was to love them. Come on. If you're walking around in your life and you feel like you're the only person in the room, but yet you're in a room full of people, why are you doing yourself such a discredit? The real question should be asked, why are you there? What was the inspiration? How about the motivation to make you see what was on the other side? And I guarantee you, if you ground your feet, looking right back, you will see truth. Because see, at the end of the day, you can't take it with you. That's a fact. So why give energy? Why give time trying to put a square peg in a circle? Why are you doing it? You see, only you know your story. You make the contrast. You put the colors in, and you attract the people. But if they do not empower you, you got to be honest with yourself. Because there is something that you're getting out of that connection. And let's go a little deeper, because we are what we attract. Excuse me. And I find it amazing because it's less than 2 weeks for the holiday. I mean, we've gotten so shallow, y'all. We don't even say Merry Christmas. We say Happy Holidays, because we don't want to give credit where credit or focus of what it symbolizes. Because it's no accountability when you say Happy Holidays. There's no religious symbolization there. It's generic, but the outcome is commerce. I remember there was a time where you would actually get excited when you heard a Christmas carol, or you saw a gesture of kindness. And as we progress through time, we have drastically gotten away from that. And we have to add, it also has had an effect on your perceptions. You ain't got a lot, Craig. Bye, Felicia. So, let me ask you this. How much do you value that friendship you got? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. How important is that? Is it worth you losing your sleep? Does it make you feel safe? Is the communication in tandem, sender, receiver? but unconditional truth. Is it? Because if it's not none of those things, that is not a friendship. And I tried to warn some of y'all. I said, be weary, because you're gonna have to go through the cycle of seeing people come from the dead. You ain't heard from them. Hey, how you doing? What we got to talk about. Some have been so bold and brazen and have told you, you know what? I want this. I got it in this color, and I need you to, yeah. Where's the loyalty in that? Where's the trust in that? Or have we gotten to a place of pay to play? Well, you know, he did pay my utility bills. I guess I'm going in there. What? For real? For real? You've been marginalized down to that. Really? Well, let me ask you this. Where were they in the wee morning? In those days where all you wanted was to hear that hello? How about that moment where it was unsettling and they were your voice of reason, but yet there was no agenda? Where were they when they had the best interest for you, but yet they knew that they were not going to see it? See, these people are blessed. And these people see an aspect that you have yet to see. They knew this the moment that they came into your life. They actually signed up for it and they own it. All the while praying, hoping that the seeds planted through time would take root. See, they already knew who you're going to be. They already saw the trajectory. That's what kept them there. All the while accepting the fact that in that entire time, in that intended time and moment, they will not be there for the harvest. They've done their part. Now, on the contrast, you have those that have been privileged to discover, to see your uniqueness and what makes you priceless. And they also know that there's a decision that they must make. Should I go for the ride? Or should I just add a little more distraction? And that's the reason why you're at odds now. And that's the reason why they won't know your story. And it's not because they can't change. They can change. They choose not to. Because if you change and you grow, guess what happens? So does the insecurity in them. So does the lack in them. So does the denial in them. You ain't got a lot of credit. Bye, Felicia. Some of y'all woke up with the epiphany that, and I say this in love, your support group is not your support group. And you realize that these were nothing but opportunists, only there to suckle off of your energy. As cold as it may seem, you just can't turn away. You take their BS thinking, Lord, just give me one more day, only to get more of the same. I bet you never talk so much to these people during this period of time because they got to make sure that you come through. Make sure that they, there are actually people, I got to pump my brakes on this. I'm going to show you how cold this world is, y'all. Some of y'all know this. There are actually people, I'm not laughing, but it tickles me to think. You've got people that actually recycle gifts. Gifts they didn't buy. Pull it right out the closet. How shallow is that? Just as you have some people that will just thank the phone, go to the store, buy anything with the intentions of, hey, I don't care. It just shows I gave them some. Kind of manipulative, don't you think? Christmas is, if you took the religious symbolism out, we'll just sit it to the side. If anything, it should be an example of love. You know that love that you dream about. Who am I talking to? Because real love is invested love. And to truly be able to understand this, you have to invest in yourself. Why am I telling you what you already know? Some of y'all, I got this feeling somebody in November, October, you came to the conclusion already. You said, you know what? I'm going to make it through this year. And in January, I'm going to start anew. And as wrong as that is, I'm here to tell you, it's going to blow up in your face. There are actually some people actually will not admit to themselves that the only reason they're in a bond, because it's not a relationship. You can't have a relationship until you have a relationship with God first. That's what understanding intimacy is about. Intimacy, like Ayana Van Dance used in her book, Into Me, I see. Who's looking in you? If it ain't you first. How is somebody going to give you what's required if you don't gauge it? That's not being selfish. That's not. But if what's insane is you willfully putting yourself into people's lives with the intentions of benefiting by way of sleight of hand. Oh man, why do you think people come out with battle scars? Who am I talking to? He was just nice and sweet, Gerald. He sure was. He was everything. He ain't the one. That was nothing but the precursor to set the platform to be your next disappointment. Or to take something. Yeah, I got a feeling somebody know what I'm talking about. You thought she was sliced bread, and she took your bread. Who am I talking to? And here's the ironic part about it all, y'all. You don't understand. To have peace of mind, to have that inner peace you hear people talk about, you have to have unconditional commitment to yourself, which means you're going to be by yourself. Some of your best moments of introspection is when you're by yourself, not behind the steering wheel. Who am I talking to? It seems like all the time you got a clear thought. You behind that steering wheel, going nowhere. And in the same breath, don't realize you're taking away from yourself. Where you going? Escape. Hip hop R&B group in the 90s remade the Emotions song. Was it the Emotions? Was it the Jones Girl? Who do I run to? Who you running to? But more importantly, why won't you run to you? Why? Because you want to think that you're on the same level as your friend. She more broken than you. She can't afford trying to figure it out on her own, because then that would make her a woman. But it matters not if she don't have a connection with him. Oh, but that's my 8-spoon comb, Gerald. What are you talking about? That's my ride or die. Till you decide not to do what they ask you to do. Then you're going to wish you just died, because they got all your business. They got all your secrets, which you shouldn't have secrets, because secrets only serve the person to be destroyed. Who am I talking to? What? Think about it. Secrets are nothing but truth unspoken. And you know what's so funny about that? Is the person that is intended to know, if they have a connection, they already know it. And the stronger guess what? The stronger the connection, they can see it. Yes. Why you think you having them dreams? Why you think you having them aches and pains? Why you think you feel a certain kind of way, like somebody is violent? That ain't nothing but spiritual projection. Because yes, y'all, demons are real. But they like for you not to believe that. They don't want you to focus on that. They want to keep you distracted doing the things you don't want to do, because the more the BS, the more the delay. Isn't the end goal to live happy ever after? Remember that? Not, oh, here we go again. I saw that behavior with Stevie. Larry told me that. I should have listened to Gerald. Everything comes full circle, y'all. Why you think? Why you think it's been echoed? It's been echoed in you. You keep hearing this. You're gonna reap what you sow. And no matter how hard you try to throw it on the wall to hope it will stick, you ain't talking about me. You feel it. You feel it. You feel it. And you can't set your watch when it comes, but you gonna know where it came from. Why? Because God's got something better. But he's not gonna give you what you need until you're ready to do the work. You realize how many people gonna wake up Christmas Day trying to act like they fell out of a magazine catalog commercial? Got the coffee on, got the gingerbread cookies. I in my robe and she's in my. They go through the formalities and they still gonna be cussing themselves out. Why? Because you living a lie. Now listen, some of you are going to take offense to what I'm saying. And you have every right to. But take away this. If it causes you to second guess, to ponder, or actually give your permission to think, reflect, then I've done my job. Because in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, how about a neighborhood near you? There's a person that looks like they got it going on, but deep down inside, they just one disappointment for them, a breakdown. They barely holding it together. But as long as you keep looking at how she sachets when she wears those heels, or how he flexes, you won't see what you need to see. That's not a life worth living, because that's not a life. That is a wasted opportunity to be the best product that you can be. In other words, that man or that woman that just won that marathon, saying hypothetically, she didn't just wake up that morning and say, you know what, I'm going to run this marathon. And just so happened, I won. No, it's a process. Maybe this is going to be the day that you say, well, you know what? And I got to own my fears. These are the things I feel insecure about. That right there is a breakthrough, because you are being honest with yourself, because you're looking at it, you're identifying it, you're acknowledging it. That right there takes courage. Unfortunately, 50% of the planet will never do that. Nah, it's the system. Nah, these hoes out here. Nah, I was set up. Nah. None of these things could occur for you to see if you were not there. Who's controlling your left foot, your right foot? You are. Now, granted, there are things going on behind your back right now, and you may have suspected this for a long time. Can't put your finger on it, though, can you? But you feel it. What you're feeling is divine intervention. And that pulse is really your discernment. Yeah, that's that little boy and little girl that you really are inside, um, trying to shake sense and, hey, look here, don't go on over there. He said he was gonna come get me. I better not get in that car. I better not go to work today because I better pay this bill or listen, the people that will know your story are blessed. And the amazing thing about it is these people don't take credit because they already know the truth. They know the real you. And some of y'all might already know that because you may have some people that have come into your life and you can't even have a conversation with them for a short period of time because you don't like how they look at you. It's like they look through you. They're looking at your spirit. That's why they don't come off animated or impulsive and all things. And if anything, they show they give you what you need. Remember when I mentioned the term life battery? Because that's what your life is. It's a reserve of action, your physical state. And I'm not even going to go on the scientific aspect of the fact that we have a current that runs through us, but really that is nothing but a connection to spirit. That's why you exist. That's why your heart continues to beat. That's why you continue to breathe. Man can't do that. He's been trying. He's been trying, but man will never be God. And that's the truth. So if you already know all these things, why are you repetitively putting yourself in positions that do not serve you? But Gerald, he made me feel a certain way. You ain't got a lot, Craig. Bye, Felicia. I know I shouldn't be with her, but she crazy. But man, there's something about that loving. You got your court date coming up. Cause and effect. Divine law. See, there's a part of your life that you know there are things you have to do. And you've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And does it surprise you that your disposition has more or less become what you fear? I ain't like that, Gerald. I wish Mug would. Mm-hmm. You doing that for your audience, or you doing that to convince you that you can deal? Oh, okay. Now, how does that play into Christmas? Now, let me throw this out here because I know there are gonna be some people that are gonna be literal, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, Gerald, you sitting over here bashing Christmas, and you sounding like a Grinch." No, because when let me change your perspective. You know what the metaphoric reason of the Grinch was? I don't know if I should tell you this, but maybe you should. Maybe you already know. The Grinch was a narcissist. And really, when you think about it, he was kind of like a pedophile too. Think about it. He did all this dirt at night. His focal point was to bring drama. But he got enjoyment on preying on children. Sounds like a narcissist to me. But what happened? He reflected. He saw his wounds, and it had touched his heart, and it grew. And what happened? All things in the dark come to the light. Instead of him being the problem, he was the solution. Why? Because God forgives. So if God forgives, why can't you? You can't say that you have a relationship with God if you don't forgive. I know that's hard. Gerald, you say forgive, that woman destroyed my car. She slept with my boys. He stole my money. He put his hands on me. Don't you realize until you forgive those transgressions, those same transgressions that you've done, people won't forgive you. You might be that person that is stigmatized as untrustworthy, promiscuous, opportunist. But guess what? All these things can change when you decide to take that step. I mean, come on now. You think you were born on this planet to suffer? Haven't you noticed the people that take no accountability, always got excuses, always running away? Every time you turn around, they got somebody new. Where are you running to? They're not going to find what they seek, because what they seek is with them the whole time. It is also a gateway. It is. Because what Larry wasn't doing, Steve gonna do. What Susan said she wasn't doing, she was. Human growth. What does it matter? Really doesn't matter. On one side, you can say yes, but on the other side, no. The yes side is you can gain the insight of where you've been, what you've experienced, good or bad. And you can transform that to be your testimony. Or you can join the sorority or the fraternity known as pain, me find me, and watch your life dwindle away. Watch how everything that made your ideology and perceptions be challenged. Who am I talking to? You thought it was all good yesterday and you believed that, and that's the reason why you did it. And the only reason why you did it because you thought that was what you should have done, only to be left with nothing. No, I just got to be around people. Why? I just do. Why? That's just who I am. Why? Truth is, They don't want to answer that question. Truth is, they've got conditioned to keep on running. But even Forrest Gump, what did he do? He got to that place inside himself and said, there's no better place than home. He realized who he was. Not the things that were in his environment. None of that mattered. What mattered was the simple things. When's the last time you have nurtured yourself? When's the last time you tapped into those spiritual gifts, those hobbies, those natural talents, those things that you would do for free because there's passion ever flowing in those acts? No, Queen, I'm not talking about swinging off the chandelier, because that's what Bobby taught you to do. Because if Bobby loved you, he would have changed your last name. And we all know this. You can teach a bear to ride a bike as long as you're persistent. So, let's get back to what I was saying originally. You can break the cycle when you decide that you're worth breaking the cycle. And to do that, that's going to require you to be honest with yourself. This is something that no one can do. This is work signed by the first moment you took your first breath, because it's your life. So if you don't like what makes your environment, why don't you be truthful about it? The moment that you decide to be truthful about it, you've already taken 2 steps to acknowledge it exists. You ain't got to lie, Craig. Bye, Felicia. Because trust and believe, an opportunist is around every corner, waiting for you, not to build, but to destroy. Why you gonna go? You actually entertaining the fact that you're gonna go in debt for somebody that you don't even know their middle name. But he said that he really. The greatest gift you'll ever be able to possess or give anybody is acknowledgement of their existence. We're talking about your time. You can't put a bow on it. You can't contain it. You can't even conform it. It is what it is. But you have some that are going to try. And that's why I say to each and every one of you, opportunist does not need your help to expose themselves, but does require you to have the courage to see it. The question is, why won't you? Well, Gerald, I gotta hold this down, because at the end of the tunnel is this brand new Mercedes, and with all the trimmings, and brand new ride. You're gonna okay. You do know that's gonna be your prison, right? Well, he said he was gonna buy me a new house. You do understand that's going to be your prison sentence, right? Well, she want to be the breadwinner, Gerald, and all I have to do is just be there. You do understand that You're disposable, right? She'll never respect you either. And the moment that you decide to step out of pocket, they're going to tell you the truth. You see that all the time. Haven't you noticed that? The moment that you actually think for yourself or step out of that gray area, that box, you know, because they got a perception of who and what position you're going to play, they quickly critique, criticize, and control how it goes down. And yes, you got some people that will even use this tactic. The moment that you start to speak truth, they're gone like the wind. What the hell happened? Hello? Hello? Why you answering my call? This is the 25th message. Hello? What's going on? Why are you mad? What you fail to realize is they're getting off of the pleasure of watching you squirm. They're laughing at you. I'm not trying to make light of your emotions, but they're taking you for granted and they're showing you that. And usually 9 times out of 10, there's already been someone B64. B64. Bingo! They're already there. Baton has already been passed. And now it's all about how can I do damage control without taking any damage. And you see this play out all the time. What happened to Charlie? Oh, I don't love Charlie. I thought that was your boo. Yeah, but you know. Only you can break the cycle when you decide to love yourself. Doesn't matter how deep your pockets are, what is there, or how you make them feel. Because that's temporary. But if you have the courage to say, you know what? You're fine and all, but I deserve more. 2 things will happen. There'll be some investigation in dialogue. What, why, where, and how. And if they really, truly mean what they say, it should validate the actions thus far before the conversation even came about. But most people won't. They're going to be quiet and they're going to be thinking, yep, I just got 2 more weeks. I get those. I get that. And as soon as I get it, hello? Hello? Thought we was going out. Hello? But don't worry about that because there's more to you than materialism. And you might be in that season where you got a penny pinch. You got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Well, yeah, I gotta get Junior them shoes because if I don't get him those shoes, he's not gonna love me. Well, guess what? Junior didn't love you before. You know why? Because you ain't loving you. You remember when you were coming up, you heard this saying, you can't beat everybody. And there's always somebody greater than you. It's no different socially. That is social. That's being socially aware. So that's why you hear those who don't want to take accountability say this. Well, what you won't do, somebody else will. And you know what you do? You're right. I totally agree with you. End the conversation. Because you're going to have women out there that's going to say, I don't need a man. And guess what? the path that they're going. There's going to be a whole lot of them. And all those things she said, I would never do that. You're right. That's a half truth. The truth is, she would never do that with you. But that's been done. But they won't own that. And that's why you hear a lot of women say, men are dogs. Well, why are you lying in this bed? Why are you picking the fleas off? Or are you just another tick? I think not. Because if you do not make a decision to go within yourself, you ain't got to worry about who's loving you. You'll be on that journey for a long time. Long time. And you see them. They look like Dawn of the Dead. They're like somebody done sucked the essence out of them. Damn. She was the prom queen, but what the hell happened? Oh, they humble now. And this is not to judge. This is not to judge. It's not. But nobody can love you like you. And if you really want to know what love truly feels like, you got to have that conversation with God. No ifs, ands about it. And we can move the dogma out of the way. But even in the Bible said, Jesus said, I am the truth, the light, and the way. So guess what? I didn't see in that, and I'm paraphrasing, it interpreted as, well, you know what? We just want to inflict more pain. So, no. That's what the devil wants you to believe. That's why he gives you everything you want. Oh, yeah, you want that. Hey, girl. Hey, what's going on? Remember me? Yeah, remember we talked on social media? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my lies straight now. I can prey upon you now. Now when am I coming to dinner? Flip the gender, it doesn't matter. It's the same example. But if you put God first in your life, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go through a drought. Because what's going on is you're being protected. The things you're not aware of, the things you did not see. How about the things that are preemptively supposed to play out in your life? And you may be thinking, damn, why? Damn, call me no more. What's going on? Why? It was all good yesterday. I can't find them. And the more you try to have this conversation with this intended person, it becomes harder. That's God's influence. That's his angel saying, no, my child. I got to guide you over here. I need you to look at that. But literally, you might say, I don't see nothing. No, focus on this. I don't see nothing. Only to look down and see you standing on your blessing. Who am I talking to? See, when we go through spiritual seasons, man's time is not God's time. That's why you hear people say he's never there when you want him, but he's always there, but he's always on time. Because it's his time. And sometimes the cycle goes on that way long enough, intended for you to get it. I ain't got to remind you, think about that. Yeah, you know that last disappointment? That one? You thought that was the end all be all. But you failed to realize those moments. There was moments going on in your life. You said, you know what? I would do anything just to not be afraid or feel emotionally safe. If I could just have someone kiss me on my neck or just hold my hand, all that I would give up for it. Who am I talking to? But as long as you get caught up on the matrix of what your life is, you'll never have control of it. Well, Joe, I'm a woman. All I got to do is just look good. If anything, I would think y'all would be kind of pissed off because the example of what beauty is what? Who would ever thought that the strippers are getting more props than the original woman? That's the world we live in. Now, I give it 5 years, y'all be walking around butt naked. Like, what? That's what you want to see anyway? No, I want to see your heart. The most beautiful thing about a woman is her brain. And maybe that's the reason why, unfortunately, some never inherit the right to unlock the other side of their life by their name being changed. That's natural progression. That's natural part of the purpose. I got this feeling somebody right now, you think that if you have a child, that's going to fill that void. And then there may be somebody think, well, Gerald, I'm in a relationship with this man and we just can't see eye to eye. But if we have a child, that'll bring us together. I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Because see, that man has to grow. Actually, that's not a man. That's a boy in an aged body, regardless of his financial status. Any fool can have money, you know. And until he reprograms the way his perceptions impact his reality, he will never keep you safe. That's maybe the reason why you keep looking at you. He said he's going to be here at 7:30. It's 3 o'clock. You know why he's doing that? Because you put up with it. You know why you can't find her? Because she don't want to be found. I'm saying all this out of love, y'all. But I can't make you love you. I can't. Because see, Gerald got to do his work. But one thing I can definitely tell you is, oh, I love me some Gerald. And as long as I put God first in everything I do, it does not matter who is beside me. It doesn't. I don't care if it's family, friends, none of that matter. None of it. Because I'm here to praise God. And I know that as long as the work is done, as long as I stay on point, if anything, there'll be always somebody trying to get your attention. The question is, are you going to give yourself the gift you deserved all this time? How about tranquility? How about compassion? How about empathy? How about transparency? See, if you don't have these already in your life, your direction, your direction comes with a whole lot of curves. Somebody knows exactly what I'm talking about. You can see the end goal, but every time that you think, oh, we got to take you to the left. I'm almost, oh no, we got to send you back 10, we got to send you back 5 years. You know why? Because God's got something better. And if you actually think that the reality that you have right now is your end all be all, you're gonna be in a rude awakening, because I'm gonna tell you what. How's it go? Those who shall be first, those who are first shall be last, and those who are last shall be made first. So maybe this is the season that you take note through the behaviors of other people, but be honest with yourself, because those are also the behaviors you possessed or possessed the whole time. You wouldn't have these behaviors if no one taught you that. Well, Gerald, it was always in me. No, they brought that out. They taught you. You didn't just wake up one morning and say, you know what? I want to feel like a bowling ball. What? Come on now. I know that's a little risk. It's the truth. Like Jack Nicholson said in Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. You know why you can't handle the truth? Because you refuse to love yourself. And you use your reality as a means to justify your behavior, but also be your distraction. Who am I talking to? Why are you over there mad? The person you need to be mad at is the person in the mirror that's been screaming at you, why won't you love me? Why are you constantly abusing me? Why you keep putting me at risk? I'm dying inside. Why won't you give me the attention I need? Why can't I just be me? Come on now. Come on. God created you exactly how you were supposed to be. That's why the mold was broken. That mold, metaphorically, was what? That placenta. Oh, I know I got somebody's attention now. You took your first breath and you were on your journey. Some of y'all were sabotaged in the beginning. You had to go through some traumatic stuff. I want to be a good mother, Gerald. I don't want to be like my mom. She didn't love me. My dad, he was never around. But don't you understand? Half of you is them. That's why you got 46 chromosomes left and right. How you think you got that? Don't you realize when you disrespect them, you disrespect yourself? And maybe that's what you're going through too, because those are nothing but soul ties. We also know them as generational curses, inundatingly waiting for you to play out and manifest in your life. I'm already telling you what you know, but the kicker is, will you listen? Because unfortunately, there Or some people like, you know what? I hear what you're saying, Gerald, but I'm going to just look. I'm gonna take this mask off on the 29th. Then I'm gonna do me. Yeah, you're gonna do you all right, and they're gonna do you too. And guess what? They're gonna leave you in a position that you wish you could give it all back. Who am I talking to? Well, that's why I drink, Gerald. It helps me escape. No, no, it don't. Because when you come off that high, how about that euphoric bliss? Them problems are still there. They ain't nothing but demonic. That ain't nothing but demonic influence. That ain't nothing but that Jezebel spirit saying, you know what? Keep on that. That's right. I'm gonna use you to destroy them. But I'm gonna make you suffer by watching them grow. That's why you hear that term, oh, he's a chip off the old block. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what if that block is already cracked? You ever thought about that? Listen, as long as you have air in your lungs, a beating heart, and that beautiful mind, you can critically think. Nobody, you don't need nobody's permission to grow. You don't need nobody's consent to be you. So you got to make a decision. Because if the person on the outside doesn't validate the person in the inside, who's the prisoner? I just want to be myself. How can you be yourself if you don't love yourself? I'm just saying. So as you step into your weekend, y'all, just know, no matter where you go, that perfect gift is looking in the mirror. There's no price tag. And some of y'all rolling with 2-for-1 coupons thinking that no, no. Don't play yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. I hope that you have a blessed day. Look, you already know what you need. But if you're afraid to admit it to yourself, can you truly blame them for what they're doing to you? God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. I don't know about y'all, but I'm really excited for 2017 because for one, I really believe that a lot of y'all are going to step back into who you really are and claim your life back. And with that is going to bring change. And some of y'all are going to be like, you know what? I'm good where I am, Gerald. I thought I needed this, and what I needed was here the whole time, and that's me. But guess what? If you're willing to take that on, look, think about it this way. It takes 24 hours to be you. Imagine the blessings that are going to come when you have completed everything. The moment that you are able to look back over your mind state and say, you know what, I remember that time I was here. And there comes a smile. And that smile might be that wisdom you've gained from it because you had to grow. Some of you will actually do a polar opposite and you say, well, you know what, I thought it was all about this, Gerald, and really, It was all about this the whole time, and I just couldn't see it. That's because God loves you. He's always loved you. He's always been there. If he didn't, he wouldn't have created you. But we must all do our part. And guess what? You don't need no more permission to do it. And if they don't understand, guess what? Wish them well. Stay the course. Continue to grow. You're going to need that, because I have to tell you this too. As long as you stay committed to that, your purpose, which is your direction, all the things you did not know will be brought to the light. Some will be unsettling, some will be validation, some will be your truth. But one thing is for sure: as long as you have air in your lungs, before you take the last one, you're going to see him again. Be blessed.